mouth now that there is a need of really significant amounts and quite in a time frame around the corner. So there is obviously many production projects, but these projects, you know, and ThyssenKrupp specifically and Daimler Truck, I think, is very important off-taker. Well, with Frank together, I think we wanted to talk a little bit more about the MENA Hydrogen Alliance. And, you know, that was Frank's idea after Berlin. We've set it up together. I think it fast in less than 2 years, actually. It was only in January 2 years ago. It became quite a good platform here. We could do a number of things. One of the outputs, concrete outputs, was actually we did several studies and also led by Frank and Art on 2x40 gigawatt initiative, which became part of the European hydrogen strategy. Some of the key elements, Hydrogen Act, and Frank will tell more about this, but you have on your table the latest study we published together with our partners, Roland Berger. I think Vache is also in the room, and there was also very nice cooperation. But Vache is sitting here, so welcome. Anyway, so I think we only have 1 hour now for this MENA Hydrogen Alliance session. I have prepared a few slides my own. I'm afraid we cannot really show the slides now, or maybe we can just briefly comment, but I want to give the word to Frank. But before giving the word to Frank, let me just explain you how we want to structure the session. We have exactly 1 hour, and we will now kick off a little bit, maybe 5 minutes by Frank on, you know, the context, on some of the topics we see. And then we will invite Dr. Sauzan. She came from Oman. She will briefly introduce on EJAD, an organization very important for hydrogen. We'll have Peter Therium from NEOM speaking about plans. We have Katharina Reiche here as chairperson of the German National Hydrogen Council, and also interesting, Yusuf should be here as well. Where's Yusuf sitting? Here's Yusuf. He will present the new hydrogen attractiveness index, which I find quite interesting. So that's a little bit just briefly for you. So without further ado, let's hand over to Frank. And I think this slide is just to show you there's no shortage on actually public, very bold initiatives to bring down the cost of green hydrogen to even Department of Energy, US, $1 by the end of this decade, but Australia, you see here 1.4, US equivalent, that's $2 Australian. Private initiatives, Catapult, and other things. So, you know, in only a year or two, if you ask people like a year or two, they wouldn't even know how much a kilogram of green hydrogen could probably cost. So the world, I think, changed dramatically, and we are in an interesting situation where green ammonia, you know, the price exploded of gray ammonia is cheaper today than, you know, a gray ammonia spot price. So really interesting times. So let's, I think that was a chart we had, here you go. But so we have, this is a little bit on, we have 2 slides on topics. Let's maybe hand over and you can give a bit of an intro on the topics we see. Yeah, then let us know. The platform is yours on where you want us to focus as well.
Yes, thanks, Cornelius, and of course, it's always a pleasure to be here and interact. I mean, the 3 core functions of an organization like DII and the MENA Hydrogen Alliance is to be a platform where people can come together and debate, and that is what we're doing today. We're to some extent the voice of all of us together. And of course, we are a source of knowledge, and, you know, one of the excellent products that came together with Roland Berger is a case in point, which is, you know, informing public and private actors what hydrogen can be for a specific region. Now, why do I get excited about hydrogen? I think it's, you know, I was thinking about it this morning. Like 2 weeks ago, I did a presentation because people ask me what I think about things. And there was one slide which McKinsey tracks these projects, large-scale hydrogen projects. And this was a couple of months ago. I've repeated this thing many times, 386 projects, a couple of $100 billion invested. And then I think yesterday I was recycling that presentation, and then I saw the latest Hydrogen Council report, and now the tally is at 520 projects and $700 billion. So it's every couple of months. Even the latest Hydrogen Europe Hydrogen Monitor already said that compared to last year, the number of projects in Europe have gone up by 1,200%. So that is one, you know, it's super dynamic. It changes every day. Another thought that came across is that, you know, if you're looking at this region, many people are looking towards export. You know, there's no price on carbon. You know, there's a lot of energy subsidies still around. So people are making green and blue hydrogen, ammonia, etc., and then they're going to ship it to Japan and Europe. But then if you listen to what people have been announcing at COP, all the net zero carbon plans that both ADNOC, Aramco, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, et cetera, are having. And then if you look at, if you think that through, and if you follow all the scenarios and the role that hydrogen has to play in that, I don't think they can actually achieve that by exporting all the hydrogen. I think there's going to be a lot of internal, you know, demand for hydrogen, even in the GCC countries. So even that narrative, when people ask me, so yeah, this region, they're going to export because there's no price on carbon. I think that is going to change very, very soon. Because I mean, how are you going to do it? So you're making ammonia, you're going to have to make green ammonia, not just for export. So those are some of the things I think it's a super exciting, super dynamic field. But it's not my job today to talk. I think, you know, we're very knowledgeable. I don't have to preach to this audience. We preach elsewhere. I think today we also would like to exchange views and listen. So we've come up with a number of topics and would really like to get into, you know, a debate. You know, what do you think is meaningful for us as an organization, as a group, to work on in the next couple of months? But before that, you know, I think it's probably good to have to listen to a number of the presentations that Cornelius already announced. So, Dr. Sausen, the floor is yours.